Protect your kids. What's it?
Yo, good morning, evening, afternoon, and night, ladies and gentlemen. It's your man's Will. I'm gonna keep it straight up with y'all. You've seen the thumbnail, you've seen the title. I'm gonna keep it uncut, unscripted. That's how I usually do when I make these videos or when I stream. I do this shit uncut and unscripted. So this topic is gonna be a little touchy. This topic may be a bit controversial, and I have a lot to talk about. You know what I'm talking about? I have a lot to talk about. So I want to talk about the N-word. Everything I say is going to be my opinion. People can correct me if I am wrong on things. People can disagree with me. People can respectfully disagree with me, and we can go on from there. Not too long ago, 11 hours ago specifically, I was live. Now, the stream was about something completely different, but I named it the N-word for this, you know, I'll explain in a bit. Now, I want to talk about why I'm talking about this, why I'm talking about the N-word, why what made me wish to speak of this, the context, and then I'll go on from there. Like I said, uncut, unscripted. I'm gonna stutter a lot. I may repeat myself a lot. I apologize. I will try to edit it or whatever. Even if I don't, it is what it is. I'm just letting y'all know head up. If I stutter or repeat myself or pause for a while or so on and so forth, I don't do scripts, man. So not too long ago, I was live. Right, and basically just making sure my shit's working, and basically someone aggravated me on stream. I said something that, you know, that was my opinion, and I feel that when I said this, I was taken, some people took me out of context until I thoroughly explained what I meant, and even then I know people are not gonna fully agree with me, so I really wanted to talk about this. So during the stream, some lame ass mofo aggravated me. This dude was clearly comfortable. Like I said, I'm not gonna promote him, but this dude was clearly comfortable lying on me. He was a weirdo, and he was just acting like a walking statistic. I called him a nigga slash nicker. I said hard R right here. I'm gonna call it nicker the hard R. Now, I'm not defending anything. I just want people to hear me out and listen to me before jumping to conclusions, before getting upset or getting triggered or whatever you want to call it. I just want people to hear me out, all right? I'm going to break this down, play the audio, and explain what I mean, then I'll go into detail. Let's go. Like a nigger, meaning you are just an ignorant, lying fuck. You are a nigger, bruh, on me. And I'm not calling you a nigger for the fact that you're black. I'm calling you a. I didn't mean to say for the quote unquote fact that he's black. What I meant to say was, I'm not calling you a nigger slash nigga, hard R slash nigga. I'm not calling him that for the content of his skin. I was calling him a nigga slash hard R because where I come from, nigga has different meanings. I felt like, honestly, nigga and nigger kind of meant the same thing. I get it, context. Like I said, I'm gonna stutter a lot. I'm gonna try to explain this the best that I can. I'll try to make sense here. What I'm trying to say is, because the N-word nigga originates from the nigger, the hard R, I figured they high key in some sense mean the same thing. I get it, back in the day, the hard R has a lot of trauma, has a lot, I get it, back in the day when African Americans were truly oppressed by Caucasians and others. The word has a lot of, degradation, a lot of trauma that comes with it. But me growing up, I was taught that nigga meant ignorant ass motherfucker. Ignorant ass motherfucker. Know what I'm saying? So I figured, well, if you're gonna act like a nigga, or not even that, I feel like nigga, and because the word nigga originates from nigger, I feel in some sense they're not all, the words aren't that different. I kind of felt like they had the same meaning in some sense because the word originates from it. Now I understand that nigga is a watered down version of nigger. Basically, you know, it's how we greet each other now. It's how folks greet each other now, mostly African Americans. It's how folks greet each other. We be like, hey, what's good, my nigga? What's up, my nigga? Well, it has, you know, we mostly use it as slang. Oh, you bitch ass nigga, or da 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 da. We use it to greet each other. Honestly, we shouldn't even say it because of the word's origin, because it's still, in my humble opinion, like I said, everything I say here is my opinion, just please hear me out. Because of the word's origin, because of the N-word's nigga's origin, where it comes from the hard R, we shouldn't even say it. We shouldn't even greet each other like that. Unfortunately, this word is a conundrum, this situation is a conundrum, because a lot of us are guilty of saying nigga. Let's keep it real, let's be honest. We say, what's up, my nigga, da da da, nigga. We shouldn't do it, but we do. I'm guilty of this. A lot of African Americans are guilty of this. I've heard some pro-blacks, so I'm talking, these are hardcore pro-blacks who tries to stay away from that word, but sometimes they slip up. You wanna know why? Because a lot of us, in my humble opinion, like me personally, speaking for myself, I grew up hearing that word everywhere. I grew up in the hood, so I heard that shit everywhere. So eventually, you know, like, what's up, my nigga? And we shouldn't do it, but unfortunately, that's just how it is. Hopefully it can change one day. But again, I'm not here to judge people for saying it. So again, I figured nigga meant ignorant motherfucker at the end of the, you know, like in terms of when I say you a bitch ass nigga, because it had different meanings. Again, it's tough to explain, but I feel those who get it will get it. But I said the hard R because, again, I felt nigga originates from nigger, so in some sense, it's not so different. So I was calling this individual, here's the context. I was calling this individual a nigger/nigga because he was acting like one. You know, I'm just here to explain why I said it, so for the context. Now, I didn't say this for the content of his skin. I feel anyone of any race can be a nigga, and anyone of any race can be a nigger. Now, if you disagree with me, if you feel that word should not be said, especially by an African, because I can only imagine if I said this and I was Caucasian American, niggas would really be on my ass and calling me OD racist. But I'm not racist, because again, context matters. So I'm gonna continue and you'll hear what I say. I'm calling you a nigger because anyone of any race can be a fucking nigger. Can we all agree there? Anyone of any race can be a nigger. A nigger, anyone of any race can be a nigger. Can we agree there? Anyone of any race can be a nigger. Do y'all even know what nigga means? Nigga means ignorant. Where I came from growing up, I even watched the Boondocks season 1 where Ed and Rummy being voiced by Samuel L. Jackson. I heard Rummy say that, played by Samuel Jackson, that he called something nigga technology for niggas. And he said, don't start tripping calling me racist, because he didn't mean nigga in a disrespectful way. He said it as a gentle term for ignorant motherfucker. Anyone of any race can be an ignorant motherfucker. And I feel that nigga will have a different meaning to different people. I understand that nigga objectively, keep in mind everything I say is my opinion. Nigga objectively, like in the dictionary, has like an objective meaning. But I feel in terms of like, you know, different people will react to nigga, the word nigga, in different ways. And people have different meanings. Where I come from, I just figured it meant ignorant motherfucker. So with that being said, when I was calling this dude a nigger with a hard R, I was calling him an ignorant motherfucker. I didn't know if this dude was white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian. I didn't care. I was calling him nigger/nigga because how old dude was acting. The dude who was like talking ill on me. So I'm not here to, oh my God, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just explaining why I said this. But so again, the reason why I said this is because in my opinion, I feel that honestly, you don't want to be a nigga. You don't want to be a nigger with a hard R. You don't want to be that, especially if you're African American. Okay, anyone of any race can be a nigga. Anyone of any race, in my humble opinion, could be a nigger. I understand the hard R, like I said. Back in the day, that word has a lot of trauma, a lot of degradation, alienation, a lot of. Again, this is a touchy topic, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me. I'm just asking folks to understand because, again, I'm not going to promote these dudes' channels, but some weirdo ass motherfucker try to accuse me of being quote unquote racist. And here's the funny thing. I'm not the only one talking about this. I mean, Chris Rock has talked about this back in the 90s. I understand Chris Rock didn't use the hard R, but let's keep it real. In my humble opinion, is there that much of a difference in terms of nigga and nigger? It's something we shouldn't say. And the N word with the hard A originates from nigger with a hard R. So in some sense, granted, I understand we took something that was negative, and we as African American peoples, or people in general, we took something that was meant to degrade us, which is the N word with the hard R, and we took it and made it positive, right? With that, I mean, but again, at the end of the day, we got to keep it real. The N word with the A still originates from the N word with a hard R. So in some sense, we got to keep it funky. We're still degrading each other in some sense. In some sense. But you know what? I will say this before I continue. I will apologize because though I can understand me saying this, granted, I don't think what I said was racist, controversial, and and I understand I did not say this in the right way, but again, the context was me saying you don't want to be a nigga, you don't want to be a nigger, you want to be better, especially if you're an African American. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude, African American, I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with him, but he says the difference between niggers and black people. You know what I'm saying? Someone in my comment section, a girl, chill brother in my comment section, said that personally he would never call another African American because he was black himself. This gentleman in my comment section said that he would never call another African American the N-word with a hard R because of the trauma and pain that came with that word, that back in the day, the hard R was used as a slur, like for real, for real. But when I explained myself to this brother, he understood what I meant. We shouldn't say nigga. Let's be real, we shouldn't say nigga. But it's just something we do. I'm guilty of this myself. And if people feel like, hey, we could say it, I honor how you feel. I honestly feel that what I said, though is harsh, I don't feel that makes me racist. This is the problem with cancel culture, SJWs. It's like I said something that people didn't like, and I said something that people don't agree with, so they will automatically try to stamp you as a racist without even reaching out to you or asking you what you meant. So it's easy to take me out of context here, so I'll keep it going. Nigga means ignorant. So because in my humble opinion, nigga/nigger meant ignorant. That was my opinion. That's, just what's the difference between a nigga and a nigger? What, because I add a R, it makes it, oh, it's racist. He's racist against his own race. Nah, I'm not racist against my own race. He's a nigger/nigga because of how he acts. If you're comfortable lying on a motherfucker, slandering a motherfucker, defamation of character, you're a nigger. And I hold it and I stand by it. Now, this is what I said on stream. I will apologize because I feel like, honestly, I can understand that. I can understand when people just hit me up saying, I get what you're saying, but I don't agree with you. I will still take accountability and apologize because again, we ain't gotta agree, but this cancel culture shit gotta stop, honestly, because it's like, dude, first of all, I'm African American. I'm not saying African Americans can't be racist towards anyone or African Americans can't be racist against their own race. But the thing is, I'm not racist. I love being African American and I love my African American people. I just don't like niggas slash niggers. I think they mean this. I think they mean the same thing. At the end of the day, ignorant motherfuckers, walking statistics, making people, you know what, anyone of any race can be a nigga. Anyone of any race can be a nigger. We ain't gotta agree, but damn, racism? Motherfuckers are so quick to pull a racist card. But again, this is what I said in the stream. I said I stand by it. Now that I'm more calm, I will apologize for it. You know, like even someone like Keemstar or slash Drama Alert, I don't even think Drama Alert's racist. I understand that when he said so on and so forth, this person is a nigger, this dude is a nigger. It's like, if you understand the context, should Keemstar, should he have said it? No, he shouldn't have said it at all. However, he was upset, he was responding, and I think racial slurs were being thrown at him as before as well, so he retaliated, stooping to dude's level. Now, should he have said that? No, especially as a Caucasian. I mean, I shouldn't say it either, but it is what it is. But I don't think people like Keemstar or PewDiePie are racist. That's the problem with this cancel culture SJW world we live in. So people are so quick to take you out of context without even asking what you meant. Will, why did I call this individual a nigga slash nigger? Because he was acting like one. He was acting, this individual was acting super fucking ignorant, super fucking irritating, trying to start trouble like how niggas do. Niggas love trouble. So I was basically telling my stream, you don't want to be a nigga. You don't want to be a nigger. You want to be better. That's all I'm saying. Now, if you disagree with me and you feel I should not have said the hard R, even though I feel that the nigga with an A or nigger with an R, they're not so different because nigga originates from the word, because nigga originates from the word nigger. I get the context. I get that we turned it into the nigga is a more watered down version of nigger. It's more lighthearted, I guess, air quotes. It's more watered down, but I feel like honestly we shouldn't even be saying it, but it's something we're all guilty of because we gonna slip. Even if I try not to say it, sometimes I'll be in a conversation, I'll be like, damn, that nigga over there, and then I realize I said it because I've been saying it all my life. I'm not defending it, but I've been saying it all my life. And when you got someone who is just an ignorant walking statistic, someone who is just looking for trouble, to me, because nigga means ignorant, and nigga, in my humble opinion, is not so different than nigger, I say, you're acting like a nigger. You're acting like a nigga. If you don't want to be called a nigga or don't want to be called a nigger, given the context, don't act like one. That's all I was trying to say here. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm just asking folks to understand. I feel like that shouldn't be racist because I'm basically giving my opinion on something that is a bit controversial. That is, you know, it's a touchy topic, but damn, racist? Anyone of any race can be an ignorant motherfucker, and that's what nigga slash nigger means in general. So yes, he's a nigger. So like a couple of minutes, I think like a couple of minutes or seconds, I don't know how long specifically later, I looked up the Boondocks Martin Luther King speech to prove the point that you don't want to be a nigga. You don't want to be a nigger. You don't want to be a nigger. And like I said, to me, where I came from, my understanding of the word, like at least, you know, like growing up and now is, you know, in my mind, nigger, I don't judge people based off of the content of their skin. I don't judge them. I don't judge people on the color of their skin. I judge them based on how they act. And if you're acting like a nigga or if you're acting like a nigger, don't get mad when you're called one. That's all I was saying here. And on top of that, I feel me playing this clip of Martin Luther King from the Boondocks proved my point that you don't want to be a nigga. You want to be better. That's all I was saying. So let's just get to it. I want to get to the part where he strictly says what he sees.
but a bunch of trifling, shiftless, good-for-nothing niggas. And I know some of you don't want to hear me say that word. It's the ugliest word in the English language, but that's what I see now.
Niggers.
And you don't want to be a nigger.
You don't. So, you don't want to be a nigga, and you damn sure don't want to be a nigger. To me, they mean the same shit. People are going to have their own perspective, have their own opinions on the word, have their own meanings. Growing up, like, you know, nigga to me may mean nigga to someone. Nigga to me, the term nigga to me could be something completely different for someone else who was African American. To me, it meant ignorant. To someone else, it could mean something different. I don't know. That's just where I came from growing up. We just took it as ignorant motherfucker. So, nigger, doesn't matter. I feel that you don't want to be one. You don't want to act like one, especially if you're African American. Don't get it twisted. In my humble opinion, anyone of any race can be ignorant, meaning in my humble opinion, anyone of any race can be a nigga and or slash nigger with a hard R. And you don't want to be that. You want to be better. So that was my message to my stream. Granted, don't get it twisted. I was a bit upset because I'm live, so I'm raw, I'm funky, I'm uncut, so I'm just keeping it real. I probably could have said it better because I do got an in-your-face voice. I do have I don't sound the nicest. To be honest, some people can take me as mean, and what I did say was harsh. I felt it was a harsh truth, but it was harsh. So that's just how I feel. If you disagree, that's fine, as long as we keep it civil, dog. But anyways, let's continue what Martin Luther King is saying.
Cause niggas are living contradictions. Niggas are full of unfulfilled ambitions. Niggas wax and wane. Niggas love to complain. Niggas love to hear themselves talk but hate to explain. Niggas love being another man's judge and jury. Niggas procrastinate until it's time to worry. Niggas love to be late. Niggas hate to hurry.
So, can someone in the chat explain to me what's the difference between a nigga and a nigger? So right here, I was basically saying, can someone really explain to me the difference? And I feel, you know, because my chat understood what I was saying, I feel like they understood what I was saying. I didn't say it in the nicest way. I did say it harsh, but I felt people understood what I was saying. But then you got some SJWs and some cancel culture rats, you know, trying to morph what I say as racism. Like, why is everything racist? Because I said nigger, or I called someone who was acting like an ignorant fucker a nigger or nigga. To me, they meant the same thing. They meant ignorant motherfucker. Now, I'm not saying that to like defend it. I'm just saying understand. That's all. Like I said, I repeat, I apologize for saying it. I apologize for saying it because I feel like, you know, I can understand that it can, I said it in a harsh way. I had good intentions. Okay. I figured this was like tough love. I had good intentions. I didn't mean to, but you know, some people just felt like, oh, you said the hard R, whoa. So I get it. A lot of like trolls and weirdo ass motherfuckers, like, you know, a lot of soy boys and, you know, people like that. They try to morph what I say into being wayish, but to the people who actually was rational and respectful and who even respectfully disagreed with me, it's like, honestly, thank you. And I apologize to people like you. I'm not making any promises, but based on, you know, y'all explaining, you know, how y'all feel about the N-word. Some, like again, it's controversial. Not everyone's going to agree. Some people can understand what I'm saying. Some people will feel that though they understand what I'm saying, still probably shouldn't say it. Still probably shouldn't say the hard R. I kind of feel, honestly, hard R or hard A. I feel like adding an A, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like we shouldn't even say nigga, but we're guilty of it. So I feel like, you know, in some sense, we're still degrading ourselves, even if it's on a smaller level, because like I said, hard A, nigga is a watered down version of nigger. But, you know, I just feel like we're still degrading ourselves, and not to mention, I feel that because the word nigga originates from nigger, they're not so different, given that context. So I feel like, you know, don't be a nigga or don't be a nigger. Be better. That was the context. And I also, in my opinion, just felt there was really no difference in when it comes to nigga with a hard A and nigger with a hard R. But some people, you know, disagree, and that's fine. But what I don't promote is trying to cancel someone because you don't understand what they're saying or you don't agree with what they're saying. I didn't call that individual the N-word with a A or hard R. Hard R. I didn't call him that not because he was black. I didn't know this dude was African American or not, and I don't care. I feel anyone of any race can be a nigga / nigger, and I feel I called him a nigger / nigga based on how dude was acting. And my message is, if you don't want to be called a nigga, and if you don't want to be called a nigger, don't act like one. Be better. That's all. That's why I played this clip from Martin Luther King in the stream, because I resonate with what he was saying, and I felt he had a point. He said you don't want to be a nigga. In this Boondock clip, you don't want to be a nigga. You don't want to be a nigger. You want to be better, especially if you're African American. Like I said, anyone of any race can be a nigga, in my humble opinion. Blacks, in my humble opinion, African Americans are not. We're not the only ones who can be niggas. African Americans are not the only ones who can be niggers. Anyone can be one. Doesn't matter what race you are. Don't act like one. That's all I was saying. This brother right here talked about it years ago. This man right here, Chris Rock. This man right here, 2018 talked about it. Oh my God, this guy's such a racist because he. Listen to what this brother says, man. And I'm saying this to be satirical, like, you're racist. Dude, this dude's not a racist. Come on.
Like, everybody can be a nigger. Doesn't matter your race, skin, or how you look. Everybody can be a nigger.
If you wish to watch this video, you can look it up. But basically what dude is saying is African Americans are respectable. We stay out of trouble. We make our money. We're not perfect. We're bound to, we're not perfect. We make mistakes, but we chilling. Niggas / niggers, man, they look for trouble. They ignorant. They'll blast you with and again, that's not, and like I said, anyone of any race can be a nigga. Anyone of any race can be a nigger. That's just how I feel. That's just, because I feel it means ignorant. But again, I could be wrong. But again, I understand why some people didn't take too kindly to what I said. Granted, I don't feel what I said was racist in the slightest. Because again, it's just, you're not going to agree. But I still will apologize for even saying the hard R. Like, I'll apologize. But the whole point that I was trying to say was, you don't want to be a nigger. You don't want to be a nigga. You want to be better. If you act like one, if you act like a nigga, if you act like a nigger, don't get mad when someone treats you or calls you one. Treat you like one or calls you one. So that's why I was encouraging people to not act like that asshole who was trying to come at me, who was acting like a blatant nigga / hard R. I was basically saying, don't be like people like this. Be better. That's the context, and I hope people can understand. If you do not understand, then hey, let's agree to disagree and move on. I apologize. I will take accountability for it, and I'll try not to say it in the future. I'm not making any promises. I will try though, because I may slip up, but I will try. So thank you, ItsYaMansWill. Hope you can understand what I'm saying. And let me know what you think in the comment section below. Deuces, and God's fortune to you all.